Hi guys, it's Reilly, and I'm finally back doing an all-English solo episode. In this one, I'm going to be talking about the gym. I know I've already talked about the gym in an episode with Sota, and at least one person enjoyed it, so that's good enough for me. I'm going to be doing a little bit on my own this time. But this time, I'm going to be talking about some of the differences between gyms in America and gyms in Japan. To reiterate, that means to say again some of the things I said from the last gym episode. I've been going to the gym for about 3 years, seriously, all in Japan. And before that, in the US, I went, a few times with friends or with my dad when I was a kid. So I used those experiences, and I also talked to some of my friends who go to the gym here and used to go to the gym back in America and Canada. And then, of course, I watch a lot of fitness YouTube. So I'm going to be using all of those things to kind of talk about the differences that I've noticed. In the first episode, I think there's going to be two probably. In the first episode, I'll talk kind of just about the gym basics, like the size and what you can expect to find in both gyms, as well as the prices. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so in my time going to the gym in Japan, I've been to some of, the biggest chains. When I first started, I was at JoyFit, and now I mostly go to Anytime. And I've also gone to, the local municipal gym, kind of like the public gym. So that hopefully gives me, a somewhat general experience of what many gyms in Japan are like. And because Anytime is, worldwide, hopefully I can have some kind of direct comparisons of what even the same company does in Japan versus in America. So one major thing, as with many things in Japan and America, the size is pretty different. So at the gym I go to most of the time, the branch I go to most of the time, there's maybe 10 treadmills. So that's the machine that you run on with kind of the moving belt, I guess you would call it. And a few exercise bikes and things like that. While in the States, I think it would be at least double that, 20, maybe 30 treadmills and maybe 5 to 10 exercise bikes. And then the thing that I use most in the gym would be the power rack, which is where you do barbell lifts like squats or bench press, deadlift, etc. And at my gym there are 3. There's a little bit of a bigger gym in town that I also go to sometimes that has 4. But I think in the US there would be quite a bit more than that, maybe up to 10 at a kind of average gym. And then of course there's the stretching area, which has space for maybe 4 people if they kind of squeeze at my gym, and in America would be much, much larger. But that's kind of, to be expected. Houses are bigger in America, and supermarkets are bigger in America. So the size thing is kind of a regular thing when comparing the two countries. Another difference about the physical aspect of the gym would be the amenities. So my local branch is kind of a small one, but it's, aside from the workout equipment, there are, some showers, and that's about it. I know in America, a lot of gyms will have a sauna attached, Sometimes like a pool is maybe like a little bit extra. Maybe only kind of bigger, nicer gyms will have a pool, and we'll talk about that later. But there would often be like some kind of seating area, like a lounge, where you could kind of sit if you want to spend some time in the gym, but maybe not work out. And some places, some of the nicer places would even have a cafe where you could buy coffee or like exercise drinks or something like that. My gym just has a couple of vending machines to buy like water or Pocari Sweat or something like that. And, you know, in addition to the actual size, I think in America there are just a lot more gyms. I know in most cities, like in New York where I lived, there was a gym on basically every block. You wouldn't have to walk more than, I don't know, like 3 minutes to go to a gym. And in more kind of like rural America, I would say every other strip mall, a strip mall is like a row of stores, like restaurants, and sometimes there's like a supermarket in the middle of it, and then kind of like restaurants or smaller stores on the sides. But probably about half of those would have a gym as one of the stores or locations, I guess. Yeah. So moving on to like price. The price in Japan is something a lot of my friends complain about. So a lot of people who come to Japan for the first time and were used to going to the gym back in America see the prices here and are kind of shocked. Like Anytime, for example, is, you know, in both countries, so you can compare directly. In the U.S., Anytime Fitness might be something between like $30 and $40, and here where I am, even in Kagawa, in a kind of cheaper part of Japan, it's around $70. Oh, in yen, you know, maybe Anytime in America would be 3,000 yen, and here I think it's something like almost 8,000 yen. And that holds true for all different kinds of gyms. So like if you go to a more serious like bodybuilding gym, like Gold's Gym, it would be something like $45 in America. I don't know, maybe 6,000 yen. And here it's like 15,000 yen, I think, to go to Gold's Gym. And then like another kind of fitness club, like a place where you might expect to have basketball courts and a pool and more kind of like athletic facilities, would be about $60 a month in the US, so I don't know, 8,000 yen. And here it's double that, about, I think, 15,000 yen or more to go to a place with a pool and, you know, maybe basketball courts. I don't even know if a gym here, a fitness club in Japan would have that. And then there's also kind of like additional levels in America that I don't think exist so much in Japan. So like if in New York, especially because there's a lot of rich people, they have like a kind of luxury gym chain called Equinox, which is almost like $200 a month, but is like beautiful. Like the inside of an Equinox looks like the inside of a luxury hotel, with like, you know, there's like sculptures in there, and there's like a concierge service to like talk to you about, you know, stuff you might want to know in the gym and things like that. And yeah, if you're curious about what an Equinox looks like, you can go to the website. It's a really insane looking place, but I haven't heard of anything like that existing in Japan. I mean, maybe in Tokyo or something, but I did a little bit of looking around to try to find like a luxury gym, and I couldn't. So maybe it doesn't exist. The thing that I'm fairly certain doesn't exist in Japan is like a kind of budget gym. So in America, there's a place called Planet Fitness, which is $10 a month. So like really cheap. And it's not a bad gym, but it's not like super serious. So it's more for like casual people who just want to maybe lose some weight, get in shape, and aren't necessarily concerned with looking like a bodybuilder or something like that. But the closest thing to that in Japan, I think, is one of the kind of public municipal gyms where you can go and pay, I don't know what it is, like 500 yen to go to the gym for like maybe 2 hours or something like that, which I've done a couple of times at my local municipal gym, but municipal means like run by the city. That's what I mean when I say public gym or municipal gym. It means it's run by the city. And the one here, at least, was pretty... I don't want to say it was like run down. It was in good condition, but all of the equipment was quite old. Like stuff that I was surprised to even see anymore. Yeah. But, 500 yen, it's pretty cheap. You can go like just for a single day and not pay for a whole monthly membership. And that's another thing, like in America, it's pretty common to go to a gym for just one day. And sometimes it can be free as a kind of like free trial thing, or it'll be pretty cheap, like maybe $5 or something like that. But I know at least anytime you can't do a trial, and I'm pretty sure you can't pay to just go for one day. I think you have to have a membership to like use the gym equipment at all. So that's another pretty big difference that maybe goes into a little more of what I'll talk about in the next episode, which is kind of gym etiquette and the gym rules, kind of not what the actual gyms are like, but what people do in the gym. And so I'll talk about that next time. See ya!